Hello everyone, welcome to my channel White Insight. So finally we have got the confirmation that almost all the bugs has been resolved in the Russian Evisa website. That is one of the reason we are recording the video as of now. There are a lot of videos which have come in, but it's only the partial. So we just waited for everything to sort out. And now we are going from the first to the last step, how you have to apply your visa. All right, so that's the first thing which we are going to show you. In case if you have missed my last video on how to create the account, what are the eligibility, what is the set of requirements, what is the format and things like that, do check my last video. It's almost a 15 minutes video in which are you eligible, what all entry points you have to see and things like that. What is the duration and what is the validity of the visa, and all everything is covered over there. So I will drop down a link in the description of my last video. Also you can click the I button and you will be rerouted to that website. All right, so without wasting any time, you can go to, once you have created your website, so the last video, you can go to the website evisa.kdmid.ru. This is the latest domain. They have just modified the domain as well. So once you go over here, you do not have to click all these. Once you have created the login, you have to only click sign in. All right, so once you click sign in, you have to just fill in your login details basically, and it will go to the home page. All right, so let me log in and I will show you how it looks like. Right. All right, so this is the login page. So you can apply for your visa two ways. Either you go to your application page where you have so your last visa, or you have started your visa process, or if you have not started your visa process, you need to click apply for a new visa. All right, you can just save this number if you want. It's not mandatory, mainly because it will show you in your applications. All right, so once you click next, all right, sometimes it will load, sometimes it will not. If it does not load, do not panic. You can always go to the if you click the email over here, it will always go to the home page and you can click your applications and you can see your application here. All right, so this is the first step. Then once you add a photo, so you can add a photo here itself. So I am just going to add a dummy photo. All right, okay, so sometimes you can see a arrow over here, the face is shifted to the left or the right to the center, so you have to just realign the face. Sometimes it will also show that yeah, now it's okay. Sometimes it will also show that your photo is having a larger size. All right, so you will have to downgrade the size. Okay, so this is the first step. After you click next, it will go to your nationality page. As of now, the nationality issue has been resolved, but in case if you have your nationality and still it's not going through, that's a different scenario. All right, so that's something else which I will be able to comment later. So as of now, so in case if you are having a bug over here with your nationality, comment in the video down below and I will be able to reply back with a response in which you will be able to bypass the bug. So as of now, if you click India and the type of passport, you should always select passport. All right, and as of now the issue has been resolved. So after we created the video, everything has been added, like STUVWXYZ. All right, so now it's all good. So once I type in, I am going to type in a dummy number over here. So that's the number, the date of issue, so which date your passport has been issued. So over here if you check, it's like 29/6/2000, but that's not the date which is going to work. So I'm going to put a date like January 1, 2020. All right, the date of expiry, you should see in your passport what is the expiry date. All right, so I'm just going to put 2030 January 1, just a dummy date. All right, issuing authority, this is a very strange thing, and it depends upon what is your nationality as well. So now I am going to say over here there is only a place of issue, but if it is your Indian passport, so I have a series of all the passport where I keep a photo. All right, so it's pretty much clear for me. So I will tell about the Indian passport first. So in the Indian passport, the issuing authority is not mentioned over here. It's only the place of issue. But if you go beyond the first page, so if you just open, this is actually the second page. The first page is the page where the officer have signed and stamped. So go and check over there. So there are two types of first pages in the Indian passport. First, when it is issued from India, and the next scenario is like when it is issued from the embassy of the India abroad. So I am going to explain the two scenarios. So first, I will explain the passport issued in India. So if you go to the first page, there will be a stamp and a sign. So it will clearly mention external affairs. That's fine. You do not have to mention that. It will be mentioned regional passport officer and whichever place it has been issued. So in this case, it's Delhi or it's Cochin, Lucknow. I have seen a lot of places. And if you want to add the Ministry of External Affairs, it's up to you. You can even add that one as well. But in the stamp in which the person have mentioned, it will not be mentioned like Ministry of External Affairs regional passport officer. So it's only basically regional passport officer who is going to issue the thing. So I am not sure this is like a old not a old 10-year passport. It's like 9 years old passport. So it depends upon the case to case basis. So check the stamp in the first page and it will show you basically where it has been issued. All right, so let me show if there is a uh, dummy one which I can pull it out from the internet, but I'm pretty much not sure. mm, I am not able to pull it out from the internet because it's only showing the first page. Yeah, I can see over here. Just a second. Yeah, this is the one I am talking about. So if you see over here, it's mentioned who is the passport officer and who is the issuing authority. It's a very very old passport, but I am just telling you, in some of the passport, it's not like this. It's the other way around. There will be one more page before this. All right, so go and check that one, and it will be done. And the next one is like where the embassy of India is going to issue the passport. So if you go over there, it will be clearly mentioned which embassy has issued your passport. So let's say it is embassy of UAE or embassy of USA. It will be clearly mentioned. So embassy of India, comma USA, United States of America. Also you can just go to the stamp and accordingly you can mention over here. So I'm just going to mention passport office Lucknow, or according to this one it's like regional passport officer. Yeah, it's basically regional passport office Cochin. So it is regional passport office Cochin. All right, so these are the two things. It will ask for your surname and the given name as per the machine readable line. So go and check this one. All right, and it will ask you like what it is mentioned over here. It is almost the same, but I am just telling you much more way in advance. So over here, it's the surname first. All right, so the surname is Shah. All right, so I'm just going to follow this one and show you. And the given name is Ria. According to the according to the machine readable format as well, it is Ria. All right, so I'm just going to mention Ria. So this is a tricky question. It is asking like as shown in your visual inspection zone. So visual inspection zone is this one and the machine readable is this one. So sometimes there is a change in name. That's why they are asking multiple times. But in almost all the passports remains the same. So just check the same name over here and type over here. So it's basically Ria and Shah as surname. All right, so it's going to go through. You have to just mention your which sex you are and just mention a date of birth. All right, country of birth, it's already mentioned in your passport as well, so it's up to you. So this is a interesting question: were you born in the USSR or in the Russian Federation? All right, so as you know, USSR is in a very large scale. All right, so if you click yes, then you need to mention like when did you emigrate out of there, and which country did you emigrate to. All right, so that is the one. As of now, I am going to click no. Then your place of birth. Place of birth will be obviously mentioned in the passport. In some of the passport, place of birth is not mentioned, so it depends upon the passport. So I am just going to mention like now personal identification number if available. So that's not the main thing. Do you currently have or have held other personal data? So it's basically like they are asking whether you were known in someone else's name, or have you ever held any other personal data. So have you ever changed your details or anything like that. So it's basically no over here. Do you currently have another citizenship? So in case if you have a multiple nationality, if yes, you can mention details over here. If no, you can click no. So this is one more question which I have never seen in any other visa applications. Have you ever held any other nationality? So it's in all other visa applications, it will only ask, do you have any other nationality as of now? But in this one, it's clearly asking, have you ever held any other nationality? So in case if you have changed your passport, you need to mention over here. All right, so I will just click yes and show you the options. So I have to mention nationality, which year I had acquired the nationality, and which year I have renounced the nationality as well, and reason for the discontinuation. All right, so I don't think it's mandatory. So let's say I was in Britain. All right, so I was in Britain issue. So I will click add. I will click next and I will see whether the error is showing yes. So even if it's not showing the star one, you need to mention the year of acquisition, the year of renunciation. So year of acquisition. So let's say you are born by birth, or you have that nationality by birth. So this will be the your year of birth, and this is the year when you have renounced your citizenship, and reason for discontinuation. So a simple one. That's not a very big thing. All right. So that's the main thing over here. And in the passport, so let's say you upload, I'm not going to upload the photo over here in the video. All right, so you can just upload the photo and click OK. All right, in any case, if you see a error over here, you will see an error over here that machine readable passport is not detected, or the system is not able to read the machine readable passport. It's perfectly fine. All right, not an issue. You can just skip the option over here. You can see an option over here, or I will show you a option. Just a second. Let me switch screen. Uh, so click OK. So in any case, yeah, so something like this will come. Machine readable data is not recognized. So that's perfectly fine. All right. As long as your passport is visible, that's perfectly fine. So I will show you again. Sometimes it will not read. So just click the skip option. It's not a very big deal. All right. So just click the skip option and it will go through. And in case, so now I have re-uploaded the passport, so that's the main reason it's showing everything over here. So I'll have to just retype. That's not a very big thing. All right, so in case even the machine readable passport reads your passport, make sure all the data is correct. As of now, sometimes even the machine readable passport is detecting the passport, it's not typing the correct passport number or the date of issue or things like that. All right, so once everything is done, click next and it will go to the next page. All right, yeah, so once you click next, you will be in the third page, which is the visit details. All right, so over here you have a lot of options over here. So it's like first option is guest visit. So basically you are going to visit, or visit a guest, or going as a guest visitor. All right, next one is a business visit, when where you are traveling on a business purpose. Tourism, participation in economic events, sports event, cultural, science, and social political events. So let's say I will see if there is anything changing. Nothing is changing basically. Even if I click the business visit or the tourism, nothing is going to change. So for the illustration purpose, I am going to select as tourism. All right, and one of the main thing, you can add multiple purpose to the trip. All right, so this is something else as well. So just click add. Can have like business. I'm going for a business and tourism visit. Again, anything more? Yeah, I can add more. I'm going for a participation in economic events as well. But as I said, for the illustration, I'm just going to select tourism. Here, the description of the purpose. So basically, they are looking for a just a description. I don't think it can be a like a lengthy one. Yeah, it's accepting a very lengthy one as well. So if you want to type a big sentence saying that I'm going for tourism, it's up to you. All right, so you can type, I think more than one or two sentences is more than enough, basically saying that you are going as a tourist, planning to visit which regions and which places in case it mentioned. So that's it. So I am just going to mention I am planning to visit Russia. Just a second. Planning to visit Russia as a tourist. All right. So that's it. Then I'm going to mention which date I am planning to enter Russia. Right. So then eh, they will say that this is the validity, or this is if you are entering Russia on this date, until this date you can stay, right? So that's so this is a tricky question, which is like which organization or which person you are going to visit. So sometimes if you are going to visit as a tourist, obviously you are not going to visit any organization, or you are not going to visit any person. So it's basically tourist places. So you can mention over here you cannot mention individual, basically because you are going for tourism. So in case if you are going to visit a individual, let's say a family friend as well, it's perfectly fine. You can mention individual and you can mention the individual's name over here. All right, so in case it should be the family name first and the given name second, included by a comma. All right, if it's an organization name, you can just mention the name of the company. So that is the only thing which is changing. All right, so in our, if you are going for a tourist, obviously it has to be an organization thing. So just mention, and this is a mandatory thing, you cannot go beyond that. So I'm just going to leave it as it is and see whether it will go through when I click tourism, because as I can see there, the star option is still there. The locality. All right, so you can mention which locality you are going to stay, and in case if you are going to stay in multiple localities, one of the main thing is you may list up to 10 places you are going to stay at. So let's say you are going to stay at multiple locations, multiple localities, multiple hotels. You need to mention all over here by clicking the add button. All right, so over here I am going to click any kind of locality. Here you can mention you are going to live in the hotel or organization or individual. I don't think Airbnb is working in Russia at the moment due to the blockade. I'm pretty much not sure. If it's working, you can select individual, because obviously in Airbnb it will be individual, not a company. Or else you can click the hotel. You can mention the hotel's name, address, the telephone number. That's more than enough. And it's also asking like, do you have a valid Russian visa? I don't know what is the meaning of this, because basically if you have a valid Russian visa, obviously you will not be applying for a visit visa. But still I don't know whether there are any other type of Russian visa. So obviously it's no, because basically you do not have a Russian visa. Do you have a valid health insurance policy? You can either click yes or no. If you click yes, you have to mention everything. If you click no, so it can be valid on the territory of Russian Federation. So it's not mandatory thing. It should be a Russian insurance, but I am not sure, because all the insurance companies are, most of them are American, and I don't think they are providing any assistance in Russia at the moment, or coverage, or covering anything in Russia at the moment. So if you have, that's good. You can mention over here. It's not mandatory. All right, so you can click no. Source of funds. So it's basically they are asking you funds. Is it independently or any other company or any other particular individual? So if you are sponsoring yourself, click independently. If your company is sponsoring, the next option, the second option. And if some other family member or friend is helping you, you can click the last option. So I'm just going to click independently. This is the most interesting question. Have you visited any countries in the last 3 years? All right, so obviously you will have something. So you have to just mention the country name. That's it. Nothing else. No entry date, no exit date. What is the purpose? Nothing. So I'm just going to mention some countries' names just as a testing. All right. So everything else is done. I'm just going to see whether something will pop up over here. All right. So yes. So it's you need to mention a organization or individual name which you are planning to visit. So name of the company, the address in this way. All right. So postal code, settlement, street, house, building, everything, and the telephone number. So I am just going to mention a dummy thing, not anything specific. All right. So once everything is filled, all right, you can go to the next option. So make sure this is in the last 3 years. Okay, last 3 years means 36 months, in the last 36 months. All right. So once you click next, it's going to ask you your family status. So first it's asking you whether are you single or married. So if you select married, straight away it will pop up this one. All right. It's a most common thing: the given name, surname, date of birth, the sex, spouse, country of birth, and spouse and country of birth, place and country of birth of your spouse. So it's basically asking for your birthplace and the birth country. All right, current nationality, that's it. So I am just going to select single, that's it. Your father's surname. All right, your father's date of birth. I'm just going to put it in a dummy figure. Your father's place and country of birth. So everywhere it's asking for place and country of birth. So do not make the mistake of just giving the country of birth, of just giving the place. So basically you mention like something California. I'm just giving you example, comma, USC. That's more than enough. All right, your mother's surname, date of birth again. All right, and do you have any relatives in Russia? So this is a very important thing. If yes, yes, you have to mention the relationship degree. So if it's not like this is all kind of a first. I think it's coming as a blood relation. All these first, and then it's going to the second degree and third degree as well. So if nothing like maybe your aunt's son's doctor is living over here, you can mention other relationship and you can mention over here. It's up to you. All right. So in case I'm going to select no, and I'm going to click next. So now it's going to ask your current actual residence. So obviously, do you have a place of actual residence? You should mention yes. All right. And if you're going to mention no, that's a no go, or that's a negative thing which you are going to give to a visa officer or the system which is going to process. So I do not have a fixed place of residence. It's okay, but obviously you will have a temporary place of residence, or there will be a home country or something. All right, it's not like no, I do not have any kind of residence. Okay, so you need to select yes, and it's not asking for anything else. All right, so it's basically asking in this format. Okay, so this is the main thing. It's asking for country. It's basically not asking for your address in Russia. All right, so if it's asking for address in Russia, obviously they will not ask the country, so obviously they know that it's. So if you click yes, you need to mention in this format. I will just copy paste over here. So first should be country, next should be postal code, the other one the city, the street, the house, and the apartment. All right, so this is the format. It's not the other way around. So in every other applications, it's the other way around. The apartment comes first, the house, the street, the city, the postal code, and last one is the country. So it's exactly the opposite. So I will mention the telephone number. I will mention an email over here. All right, so they are also asking like, do you have any real estate in Russia? Obviously no. This is the interesting question, and this is not seen anywhere. I'm not sure if it's in North Korean visa application. Do you have any social networks and messengers? It's better to say yes. All right. So in case if they have an AI, or if they are doing a background research, and if they found out that you have a some kind of uh, messengers or the platforms, it can have a negative impact. So it's better to just declare everything rather than saying no. And sometimes it can happen that okay, maybe you do not have, and the system is finding out a duplicate thing. So obviously if the system is going to find out a Facebook link, obviously it's not going to cross match with the passport number. there might be a certain number of applications or certain number of profiles with the same name, and you will get stuck. So it's better if you do not have, just create at least one or two and just name the social messenger. All right, so they are not asking the links to it, nothing. They are only asking the name of the social network of the messenger. So I'm just going to mention Facebook, that's it. So if you have anything like LinkedIn as well, you can mention that as well. So that's the main thing. Do you work or study? So this is basically like the IELTS question, where the examiner asks, do you work or study? So do you work or study? It's basically or, but it's like a strange thing over here. All right, and if the answer is yes, you will have to indicate at least two of your most recent jobs, including the current one, the name and address of your employer, or a place of study for students. All right, so in case if you're working, you need to mention the last two jobs, not just the one. So I'm doing click yes, and I am going to say I work. Right, so I am just going to mention the name, the work position, the address, the phone number, the email. All right, make sure if you are working, you need to mention two. All right, so I am going to mention one more as well, where I say it's work. All right, so it does not has any validation, so that's one of the reason I'm not going to waste any of your time. All right, so that's the main thing. So let's say if I say study, it's almost the same. It's nothing different. It's almost the same thing, but in study they are only asking for a place of study, that's it. So in case of work, you need to mention the last two, at least two of your most recent jobs, including the current one. So this is the current one, and this is the before that. So do not think that if you mention work, it's not going to ask your educational qualification. Yes. So have you studied any educational institution other than the high school? So high school is like the 12th in India. I am not sure how it works around the world. I think it's same thing, the high school. So if you have done any educational institution other than the high school, you need to mention over here yes. And it's not very anything very specific like in Canada visa application. You need to mention the entire thing, the name, the address, what is the thing, from which date to which date, everything. So over here it's pretty much simple. The address thing, they have not given any format, so I think you can just follow the same format of this one or the old format. So it's up to you which format you want to follow. So you can mention the name and the address. And if you have completed two or three qualifications after your high school, make sure to add it. All right, and once it's all done, you can just click the next option where you are in the final stage. All right, so it's basically asking a lot of questions like, do you intend to uh, represent interest or any non-commercial international organizations or things like that? uh, if yes, then you need to mention the name. All right, in this case I'm going to mention no. Have you received any special training? Sorry, it's no. Have you completed the military service? No. Have you ever been involved in anything? No. Do you intend to carry out illegal activities on the territory of Russia? Which is a very strange question. It's obviously a no, and that's the main thing. Do you intend to participate in political parties? It's no. All right. So any other additional information? So it's basically a text, free form text. Anything you want to add, you can add. So once you click next, it will go to this thing. So it's going to show you everything, basically what all things which you have typed. And I'm also going to show, even if it's a dummy application, I'm not going to complete the application, but I'm going to show you basically how it is done, or where it will go, and what kind of OTP system or what kind of a things, payments portals they are planning to use. All right, so in this case I am going to click everything, and I am going to click pay. So it says CNY, and it's leonpay.com. Okay, so I think it's all right. It's accepting the master and the visa, so that's more than enough. And 374 CNY, sorry, 374 CNY to, let's say, US dollars. Let's see how much. All right, so that's around $52. Is almost cheap. All right, so that's the amount of this thing. And once, I think it's already showing the Visa and Mastercard, so I do not need to show like what is the data validation. It might ask for the OTP depending upon the things. Once this is done, obviously I'm just going to cancel, and I am going to show you, yeah, it's going to ask for the payment as of now because I have not done the payment. Once it is done, like it's showing the await payment as of now. It Once the payment is done, it will be accepted for processing. Then you will have to wait for 4 days. In any case, if there is an error, it will be returned for editing. All right, and once that everything is done, the processing will be completed. All right, so that's one more thing. So in case if you have any queries or if you have facing anything, just comment below. And in case if anyone wants to apply free of cost, we are not going to charge anything at the moment. So we are going to give five people who wants to just not take the hassle and not make any error. We will be applying from our end or from their end, and we will not be processing any of the fees. They will just pay the application. Your application will be approved. So this will be only applicable to the five first applicant which they are going to email in the email mentioned. All right, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I will be posting more videos on the visas which is going to be processed in the Russian e-visa website. We have already got a lot of clients waiting for the Russian e-visa website. All right, so that's the main thing. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.